Right now, from KTAB News, your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics.
Thanks for being here for Big Country Politics. I'm Marley Capper. We'll start with our eye on Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has revealed more details about his border wall construction plan. KTAB's Austin Bureau correspondent Wes Rappaport was at the Capitol News Conference this week where the plan was laid out.
Flanked by Republican lawmakers, Governor Greg Abbott said Texas would transfer $250 million from the state's criminal justice department as seed money for border wall construction.
And it's more than enough to hire the project manager and the contractors and to begin building the wall. And we are committed to adding more resources as needed going forward.
Abbott also signed a letter to President Joe Biden calling on the federal government to return land taken to build the border wall to Texas.
Texas will talk to those property owners about Texas using that land to build the wall.
You know, somebody who lives on the border and where we're raising our kids on the border, I'll tell you the perspective of the border. We don't need a wall.
Former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke, who represented El Paso, says the state should take a more humanitarian approach.
When it comes to the migrants, the asylum seekers, the refugees, meeting them with the kindness, the hospitality, and the humanitarian impulse for which Texas has always been famous for. That's the way that we do the right thing.
The federal government is spending seemingly all of its resources concerning the border on the people who are trying to enter into the state of Texas. I'm focused on the humanitarian crisis that Texans are suffering through. Texans on the border are suffering through a humanitarian crisis by having their lives disrupted with guns and gangs and being riddled with crime.
Abbott's announcement comes as former President Donald Trump shared he plans to join the governor on a border trip on June 30th. At the Texas Capitol, I'm Wes Rappaport. Back to you.
Thank you, Wes. Abbott also announced a state-managed donation page for people to contribute to the wall construction. And much like the temperature, the cost of fixing your AC is going up. KTAB's Mercedes Hernandez spoke to a local AC tech to find out how increased needs for parts last year are causing problems this year.
For John Ramirez, the last few weeks have been anything but calm.
It's busier than it has been in the past, for sure. I've been here 15 years, and it's one of the ones that I'll remember for sure.
He's the service manager for Hall's Air Conditioning, and demand for technicians like him is higher than a Texas thermometer.
The past 2 weeks, we've been working 14 to 15-hour days. We're running 4 technicians, and we're averaging between 30 to 40 calls a day.
Increased demand is pretty common in the summer, but what's not are problems getting repair parts.
The shortages out there is crazy right now.
Ramirez says the pandemic is to blame. With more people at home last year, manufacturers had to delve into their surplus to get that influx covered, leaving not much left for us in 2021. That impact could be felt in customers' wallets.
Supply and demand, so if parts aren't available, so they're jacking the prices up. I mean, we've seen triple to digit price increases across the board on a lot of stuff.
As techs and customers alike wait for the shortage to even out, Ramirez suggests keeping up with your unit's maintenance.
Changing your filter, washing your outdoor unit with the garden hose, just the normal stuff you should do just to kind of help that equipment out.
Follow that advice, and it might just help you keep your cool. In Abilene, with coverage you can count on, Mercedes Hernandez, KTAB News.
Thank you, Mercedes. Like she said, if you need something fixed, replaced, or just checked, don't wait. Make sure you put an order now so there's time to get it taken care of. And since there's no time frame for shortages to be filled, experts are anticipating price hikes will only get worse later in the summer. And when we come back here on Big Country Politics, an in-depth conversation with Abilene City Manager Robert Hanna. We're back in 2 minutes.
Big Country Politics on KTAB continues.
Thanks for being here for Big Country Politics. This morning we are joined with City Manager Robert Hanna. Go ahead and start by telling us, what is the general feel of the city right now? Are there any issues that you think are really important to address?
So I think the general feel of the city is pretty good. Obviously, streets are always an issue we try to address. The winter storm Uri really did a number on some of our streets. We've had to do some emergency repairs to a number of residential sections that just crumbled as a result of the storm. So the street maintenance fee and the street board are looking at other larger projects to do. South 27th is on the list of consideration. Anybody who's driven that recently will tell you that some work needs to be done. The storm did a number on that road too. So we're just trying to, it's almost a continual game of catch up, but we are working hard to get those addressed, and I appreciate folks' patience. But other than that, I think the temperature of the city is pretty good.
Definitely. So I spoke with Mike Raines a few weeks ago,
Sure.
and he kind of talked to us about this obligation bond that we're going to see. This one doesn't require a vote by the citizens. Do you mind talking to us a little bit about why this route seemed to make more sense than taking it to a bond election, waiting for the election, all of that?
Sure, it's probably 9 months away before we could have, maybe even a year before we'd be able to do the project and get funds for the project if we did a general obligation bond. So certificate of obligation allows the council to do that for this type of project. That law recently changed this last legislative session, but we're still allowed to do them for infrastructure like this. So part of its timing, East North 10th really needs to be done, and Maple also really needs to be done. Both of those roads, the traffic volumes are increasing because of new construction and new development, and they're creating an unsafe environment that needs to be addressed sooner rather than later. So in this instance, we decided to go this route. The good news is, as this moment, we're still getting appeals through the tax appraisal process, but at this moment, we don't believe there'll be a tax rate increase associated with this debt issuance.
Right, and we actually have some debts that we'll have paid off.
That's right.
By the time July, or I guess it would be the next fiscal year, correct?
Yeah, by the time we make our next annual payment, yes.
Definitely.
Yep.
So we could expect either the same with these new certificates of obligations or possibly a lower tax rate.
If you just look at the debt, yes. As we go into July and we start talking to council about the budget, we're going to bring council a balanced budget that does not constitute a tax increase, the tax rate. Okay. Obviously, if your appraisal goes up,
right,
you're paying more taxes. But the tax rate, we're not recommending be increased at this time. One of the questions I have for council in the budget process is the creation of this police apparatus fund, which would allow the police department to fund, cash fund, all of their body armor and their cameras and their microphones, all the things that they use, their Batman belts, all the stuff that they need. We did that for the fire department. It's been very good. And it allows us to pay for the fire department functions without having to issue debt. So I'd like to do something similar for the police department, but it would require a tax rate increase to cover that. So that's a question that will be before council if they want to consider that.
Definitely. Do you know how much that would cost to be able to support APD?
It just depends on what the final appraised value comes back at, but it could be anywhere from 3/4 of a penny to a penny and a quarter. It just depends.
So nothing too crazy here.
Nothing too crazy, but at the same time, I'm conscious that any tax increase impacts people.
Right, definitely. So while we're kind of staying on, the budget and bonds, I know that the Abilene Parks and Rec did propose, or during our March retreat that we had for City Council, this idea of a multi-million-dollar bond for parks. Mm-hmm. Lots of the rec centers around town need to be refurbished, they're really old. And then the idea of Kirby Lake. Could you mind kind of touching on what that idea would look like?
Sure. So the council retreat talked about a variety of different projects, and one of the things that Community Services or our Parks Department pitched forth was a revamping of our rec centers or community centers. Anybody who has been in those facilities recently will tell you that they need a little love.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if you go to other communities in Texas and see what they're able to provide their community, it's pretty clear we're way behind the times. There's a way to do this without directly competing with the private sector in regards to workout facilities and gyms, right, and that sort of stuff. And so I just think we need to have that community conversation, because my intention wouldn't be to create an environment where we're competing with the gyms and the workout facilities that pay people's livelihoods,
Right.
So that's part of the concept. Another concept is this Lake Kirby facility as well, which would be a reinvestment in Lake Kirby. There's some ball fields involved. There's some more restroom facilities. There's a bunch of other stuff that could be very helpful, and it would involve a rec center too. It is expensive. Because of the dollars, we almost have to go to the voters for approval, just because it's a lot of money.
Right. Well, the good thing about the Kirby Lake situation, since there are a lot of baseball fields, I spoke with the ACVB here, and actually Kirby Lake alone brings in about $2 million in revenue from the 8 events they have. That's with USA Softball and Little League. I think 7 of the 8 events are USA Softball. And so something that Leslie Andrews addressed in her whole pitch to y'all was the idea that really below, I think it's North 7th, besides the old YMCA building, there's not really anything on the south side that the city offers. So do you think that this could be beneficial to have, more attraction to bring in more revenue, and then also to be able to kind of fill that void? I know that's a loaded question here.
Oh yeah, it's a good question. So I would say that the revenue that the city would see off that in terms of sales tax and just event fees and that kind of stuff likely wouldn't pay the debt service. So there would be a tax increase component to pay for that.
Gotcha.
Which is really why the voters need to weigh in on it.
Definitely. And then is there any other issues that you think need to go to a bond?
We have a laundry list of things that this community has asked for or things that need to be done. So yeah, I do think there are things that need to go to a bond. It's time for another bond issuance. It's time for another process to determine what it is we're going to do. We have anywhere from $45 to $60 million worth of new street projects we'd like to bring to the voters. We have a number of different facilities, a new animal shelter that we'd like to bring to the voters. Some of these rec center concepts. The fire department is asking for a new fire station and would need voter approval. So that will all be done through a process that was very similar to last time. The mayor and the council will appoint a citizen committee, and they'll go through an analysis process, and they'll say, yeah, this is a good idea, or staff, no thank you, we don't think it's a good idea. So it'll be voter-led and then ultimately voter-approved.
Definitely. So do you think that citizens can expect to see something like we did in 2015 where it was a bunch of different items kind of compiled into one omnibus package? Yes,
I see probably the propositions being broken up into multiple avenues. Roads will probably be one, and infrastructure might be another one. I don't think you'll see 8 or 7 or 8 different propositions, but you'll certainly see more than one. And the timing of all that is really going to be driven by the City Council, but it was something that we talked about during the retreat, and there was consensus that it's time to have this discussion.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. When we come back here, you guys, we're going to continue our conversation and talk about the downtown hotel. Stick around.
Big Country Politics on KTAB continues.
Thanks for sticking with us. Right now, we're with Abilene City Manager Robert Hanna. We are going to talk about the downtown hotel, but before we do that, let's go ahead and get to COVID. Can you talk about how the city is doing with COVID-19 right now?
I think we're doing very well. Vaccination numbers have slowed down dramatically, and that's being witnessed throughout the state of Texas. So here's my take on COVID, is that vaccination is available. If people have chosen not to receive the vaccination, that's okay. That's a decision they've made, and it's their body, and they can make that decision. As the state continues to open up, and Abilene's been open now for a while. Right. I just would encourage people to enjoy their lives, go out and live their lives. The pandemic COVID is always going to be with us. It's not going away. We have the tools that we believe, science believes, are helpful. There are variants that are out there that you hear the media talking about, and this could be a new variant coming up, or the Delta variant, or this variant or that variant. All the vaccines have, from the stuff I've read, seem to indicate that we've got some response to it if you get the vaccine. So I personally encourage people to do it. I've done it. I'm still alive. I haven't turned green yet. It's a responsible thing to do, but it's equally responsible to choose not to do it if that's where your heart and your head are at. It's a personal decision. You'll never hear me saying you need to get it. It's something that it's a personal decision, and I respect those that get it, and I respect those that don't.
Definitely. I know we recently had a change to the way that we are reporting. The staff. I mean, our public health department has been working day in, day out, weekends, doing all these things. Are you happy to kind of be able to lift some of those burdens off of them on the weekend?
Absolutely. These people have done an incredible job, and I don't think the public fully understands, because they didn't complain. It was a pandemic. You read about them in textbooks. They were living one, and we all did, unfortunately. And the public health department has just done a yeoman's job. I'm exceptionally proud of them.
Definitely. All right, well, let's go ahead and get down to the downtown area. Before we start, I know that you and your previous cities have actually made an entertainment district possible.
Sure.
Do you mind kind of highlighting what that is and if that could be a possibility here in Abilene?
Sure. Well, the concept is to have a defined area where a person could leave a licensed premise for alcohol and walk to a store and do some shopping, or go into another place, you know, a food place, whatever. You'll see this in Fredericksburg is a great example. People have been to Fredericksburg, and you can walk down the street in Fredericksburg with a glass of wine or a cold beer and shop while you consume responsibly. It is illegal to be drunk in public, whether this passes or not, and so don't be drunk in public. But the concept of the entertainment district is just to create an environment where people feel comfortable enjoying a beverage and shopping, and it just kind of spurs activity. It is not a silver bullet, right? It's not going to create something that doesn't already exist. It's just going to add to it. And so it was asked for by Councilmember Hurt. He asked it come to council for consideration, and the council, I think, rightly said, let's look at this. And they appointed a group of citizens to study it, and that's where we are right now. I don't have any inside baseball on what's going to happen with this. I really think the committee is going to give a recommendation that they feel is appropriate, and then council will consider it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So staying with the downtown area, finally we'll hit that downtown hotel. Go ahead and start by telling us first, what's going on? I know we were in a pandemic. Something happened around March, so you guys
Sure.
couldn't issue a ton of debt. That was a shocker, right? Not really.
Right.
But go ahead and tell us what is going on with the hotel.
Yeah, so the pandemic really put some hurt on the hotel project and the hospitality market across the country and the world. And so this whole project has slowed down. The good news is that we're back full steam. And the hospitality industry in Abilene is recovering very quickly. And so on June 24th, I'll approach council and talk to them and give them a full update on where we are with the project, ask them to notice the public on an issuance of debt for the city's portion of the project, and then the project will be moving forward if council decides to do that.
Definitely. Do you have a ballpark of when we could see the issuance of debt, or we don't know yet?
We're working hard to be able to do something before September 1st.
Awesome. So if this was to get passed and we get the hotel, do you think that an entertainment district would really kind of coincide with the mission of the hotel? I mean, talk about how the two could be a partner.
Well, there's an elegant connection for sure. I would say that you don't have to have an entertainment district with a hotel, and you don't have to have a hotel with the entertainment district, so they don't need one another to be successful. But I do think there could be some synergy for sure.
Definitely. So some citizens have been a little frustrated since the hotel isn't there yet. You know, we've had people come to city council and say, it's been this amount of time, where is it? But again, you kind of wanted to make sure that we're doing the responsible thing. I think the last thing that people might have needed during the pandemic was, you know, higher taxes. How can you kind of speak to those people who might be frustrated or angry?
Well, I would say this is that nothing we've done with the hotel is going to create a tax increase
Right.
to the citizens of Abilene. Council's very opposed to that concept, and rightly so, in my opinion. For those that are frustrated because they haven't seen, it's been all talk and no action, right? This is a big deal, and it takes time, and you're talking about global credit markets, and you're talking about a hospitality industry that was just leveled by a global pandemic. So it would have been foolish for the city to move forward with a hotel during the middle of a pandemic. It would have been just dumb. And one of the things that council has asked me to do in the analysis of this project is to make sure that we can protect the taxpayers from exposure to this. The good news is when I present this to council on the 24th, I think people will see just how well we've done that. And one thing COVID has bought us is time, and so we've been able to restructure some things to make it look a little different from a financing model standpoint that actually serves the public's interests even further. It really protects them well.
Definitely. Do you have any last final thoughts here about the hotel, sir?
Whether this goes or doesn't, I'll be ready to stop talking about the hotel very soon. It's been going on now for 5 years. It's time to get this thing going or not.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you guys for joining us for Big Country Politics. You can watch the full interview on our website, bigcountryhomepage.com.
Big Country Politics on KTAB continues.
A new federal holiday is now here. The Senate unanimously passed and the House passed with 415 votes a bill to make June 19th or June 19th a holiday. The day is the last day enslaved African Americans in Texas learned of their freedom. Raquel Martin reports both Republicans and Democrats say this important date is an important mark in U.S. history.
We joined together to celebrate a momentous day in American history.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are uniting to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Today we have crushed racial divide, and we are in fact unified around freedom.
It's just a great day for America.
Tuesday, senators unanimously passed a bill to commemorate the date when the last enslaved African Americans learned of their freedom, June 19, 1865 in Texas, nearly 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come.
Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas, where Juneteenth has been a state holiday for 40 years, spearheaded the effort in the Senate and says he hopes new federal recognition will bring healing to a divided country.
This is the most propitious time for us to recognize our history and to learn from it.
Currently, 47 states officially recognize Juneteenth. And last year, following the death of George Floyd, a growing number of companies began adopting the date as a paid holiday. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson previously blocked the bill, arguing the occasion doesn't justify the $600 million annual cost to taxpayers. Without his formal objection, the bill moved to the House.
It will be a day of remembrance.
After passing the House, the bill will next head to President Biden's desk for his signature. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
And that does it for this week's edition of Big Country Politics. For the latest political headlines, always go to bigcountryhomepage.com. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for watching.